Stanley, are you here with us? Test your mic.
I'm here. What is up, everyone?
Okay, so I
No.
want to introduce you to Stanley Aryanto. This is probably the first time you are meeting him. So I have the same mentor with Stanley, and he actually is his his house is actually behind my house. So yes, this is already planned. Everyone almost from Bali. Sorry, guys, it's uh, it's not corruption. Definitely, it's not corruption. We just want to give you tons of values. Okay,
You're
so
making me and
Stanley,
Dexter feel like we are like, the outcasts.
okay, Stanley is from Indonesia, which is from Bandung, I believe. No,
Yep,
yeah,
that's
you're
it.
from Bandung, and he got like 100, more than 100 awards on the photography. So I want probably Chaos can play the video from Stanley first.
If today were the last day of my
Chaos
life,
team,
would I do
can you
what
play
I'm
the
about to do
video
today?
for? Okay.
A question that I ask myself every single morning before I head to my previous engineering work. And for the longest time, the answer was no, until I started to change the way I approach life. I'm Stanley, an award winning, published, and exhibited travel photographer who have been to 29 countries around the globe. In 2018, I finally found the courage to leave my career as a mechanical engineer. A good job, a good income, and a comfortable lifestyle. But I realized that I want to pursue something bigger, to inspire and change people's lives, to leave a legacy. When I left my career, my mission was simple: to be able to experience and capture the unseen perspectives of the world, to be able to help others to pursue and live their dream life, and to help others to find hope, purpose, and happiness through their passion in photography. Inspiring moments are a second way, and camera is the tool that I choose to preserve it for generations to come. Photography is more than just an image. It is a translation of what you see, an experience of our passage in time. It transforms the feeling from the past to the present. It touches our imagination and convey a story. Photography is our window to the world, our perspectives, the ability to recognize the simplest thing amongst the grandest landscape, the extraordinary in the mundane, the striking magnificence of Mother Nature, the once in a lifetime moment. Every journey is an exploration, and every exploration is an adventure. This is my journey. This is the Wicked Hunt.
Okay, everyone agree with me that video is amazing. And
I am
yes,
already inspired, the first 2 seconds of the video. That music.
yeah. And Iwan, you say nice accent. He actually lived in Canada for 2 years. Okay, Stanley, can you go with the presentation?
Yeah, for
What are we
sure. Let me
going to
share my
discuss?
screen.
What are you
Sorry.
going to discuss?
I'll,
What is
I'll,
your
I'll let you
presentation
guys
all
know.
about?
So just give me a sec. Let me share my screen, and you guys should be able to see my screen. So today, I want to talk about a little bit how photography and how it gonna fit with all of what you're doing, which is 3D. And I was thinking about this a lot. What should I talk about? It could be about camera, it could be about post processing, but I want to be able to give something that can relate to you guys. So I'll just get right to it. Um, Right. So, as you heard before, my name is Stanley Aryanto, and I call myself a nomadic travel photographer. But essentially, I'm more of an explorer, an artist, and an educator. And the mission has always been clear. By the way, if you didn't heard that first bit of the video, the question was, if today were the last day of your life, would you do what you're about to do today? And that was kind of the start. So if you kind of didn't get that first bit, just to kind of bring that back. And for the longest time, that answer was no, until I started changing the way I approach life, right? And this is my mission now, to be able to experience and capture the beauty of the world, as well as to be able to help others to pursue and live their dream life. And so that hopefully they can find that hope, purpose, and happiness, whether it's through photography or whatever their passion may be. Yeah, so when you guys think about photography, what do you guys think about? Right? Most of us, when we think about photography, the first thing that comes to mind is the camera, right? This expensive camera, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it may be, the drones, right? But and photography or visual art, for that matter, right? The things that Michael has shared, Dexter has shared, everything have, it tells the story. It's the story that failed to put into words, Destin Sparks says. So if you're looking at this photo, I don't really need to tell you what's happening. You've already able to feel and see what it is out there. And to me, that is photography, right? The feeling that you get when you're out there in the middle of the mountain, with no one around you and this cloud rolling in. The experience, the cold wind, the breeze that hit, all the dust that hit your face because of all those winds, and those are the feeling that this photo represent. Those are the feeling that when you look at this photo, those are the things that I'd like you to feel. So when it comes to photography or visual arts, at the end of the day, those are the things that matters. Those are the things that will get you awards. Those are the things that are gonna get recognized by brands and basically all your clients if you do this for business, right? And to me, one of the things that I always taught to my mentee is that the most in photography, it's very simple. There are 3 pillars to photography. First of all is mastering your vision. Second of all, mastering your camera, which is the tool. And third of all, mastering the post-processing, right? And the camera side of things for you guys could be the software, and it's pretty much the same thing. But before we get to that, one of the things that's really important is to have that vision. Just like what Michael was sharing earlier, right?
Wait,
Yeah, what is up?
Your photo is too beautiful. Can you hide? Can you press that hide button? Because it's actually annoying. I want
Oh,
to
sorry. Is that
enjoy
better?
your photos. Okay, please continue.
Okay. So those are the 3 pillars of photography, and those are the things that I always hammer into my mentee and my students, right? But today I want to talk about that very first pillar, which is the foundation and the most important thing in visual arts, not only just photography. What are they? Well, first of all, everything starts with light, right? As simple as that. I mean, if I go like this, what can you see? Nothing, pure black. And that is what visual art mean. Those are the lights, are the things that create texture, that create mood, the colors, right? Whether it's black and white, whether it's noir, whether it's moody, those are the things that makes the difference, the lights. And I consider when it comes to visual art, it is one of the most important thing. Now, if we just look into this progression, right? Those was before the sun actually peaked through the mountain. This was when the sun peaked to the mountain, and this is, oh, sorry. Okay, I did mistake there. But, like as it higher, go a little bit higher and higher, you kind of change, all the lights change, all the color change. So lights is absolutely important. And when you think about visual art, those are the very first thing that I'd like you guys to think about. Now, the second things, coming back to lights, how do you get that right lighting? Where it's all coming back to timing, right? I mean, how many of you have heard this phrase of, you just have to be at the right time and right place, right? And at the end of the day, it's pretty much it. But there are a lot of different things that you can do to put yourself there, to, from the planning side of things, from forecasting the weather. And the most important thing is to be able to recognize the things that you see, right? The beauty amongst the chaos, and to be able to capture that and preserve that. And those are the things that I'd like you guys to think about when you're thinking about your 3D art or your visual art. Is that, what is that thing that that is the hero of the story? and focus on that and get rid of the villain, the distraction, all the things that doesn't make that photo great. And in this photo here, the timing is absolutely impeccable because those are once in a blue moon, like no pun intended there, but that was a blue moon. No, they're not a blue moon. It's just very rare because of the size and so forth. But look at those clouds, right? The inversion, and look at all the texture of the rocks where I was standing and surrounded me. And those are the things that you can see when the lights is out. Now, what if your goal is to be able, or your vision is to be able to capture the Milky Way? Well, then you don't want to shoot during the full moon, because then what's going to happen? It will take away all the details and washed out all the Milky Way and everything that you can see out of the Milky Way. So timing is basically the second things that you need to make sure to be able to master your vision. Now, the last thing is the framing, the placement, the way you put things, what do you decide to include in your frame and what you decide to take away from your frame, because those are the things that make a lot of difference. What is the experience, the feeling, right? And in here, this is where I'm standing at that point in time. Those are the view, those are the wider view. There is a false peak and there is another peak, and those are the things that you get to see. And I decided to frame one of my friend there in the middle as a scale. And there was just so happened someone else at the very top, again, as a scale, right? Just to show you how big these mountains are. And in here, you could see the journey from left to right and what are the journey that we have to overcome to get to there. But what if you want to tell a different story? What if you want to tell a different feeling? And in here, you could actually see, again, I used one of my friends. And yeah, if you want to be on one of these photos, then you just have to make friends with me and go on my adventure, or what I call the Wicked Hunt, and I'll get you in there. But in here, what I want to depict or give you guys the feeling of is that sense of you are in the middle of the mountain, and yet you are right next to the sea. Like all this on the right-hand side are the water, the ocean, and just that feeling of, oh wow, I felt like I'm on top of the world, but from here I could see the very bottom of it. And that feeling is just incredible for me to be able to experience that. And again, all I did was just shift that framing, and all of a sudden you get the different feeling. It's less about the ocean but more about the mountain, right? Now, it's also important to think about what you're trying to include and exclude. In this example, if you remember that very first slide of framing that I show you guys, there's a false peak and this peak. And by removing that false peak, you get to see basically this peak, which is the higher one. And the sense that I want to be able to share with you in here is that feeling of being on top of the world. I mean, look at him on top of the horizon, on top of the clouds. It felt like, it's heaven on earth, right? And those are the feelings that I want to be able to, I want you guys to be able to feel when you look at this photo.
One question from me.
Yeah.
Is it windy there? But what happened if there is a big wind and then you fell?
Well, funny enough, my Canon camera actually took a tumble 3 meters down the cliff and about 30 meters down the mountain, and I had to fetch it. So it did took a tumble actually during that day, and it wasn't it didn't give me a happy face, I can tell you that. Yeah, so and this is the other framing. If you look at the one from before, this is the cloud was just incredible. It was really felt like we were amongst the cloud. And as we went over this ledge, over looking over the other side, we were able to see this framing where it really felt like you were standing in the middle of the cloud, and it felt like it's just a massive cushion and you want to jump. Of course, do not jump because they are not cushion. But just one last slide to prove a point. This is a different framing, and all this framing are from the same spot, but they are giving you a different feeling. So one thing that I'd like you to ask yourself when you create your art, is to think about what is that story that you're trying to tell. What do you want to get your audience to see, to feel, and give the experience through your visual art, whatever that may be, right? Whether it is through reducing the light, increasing the light, changing the vibrance, and like you see on some of the slides that from the previous presenter, we change the way the texture, the colors, and all of that change the mood, change the way we perceive and feel when we see that photo. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And if you guys want to connect with me, my DM is always open, so you can say hi. All you got to do is type in at the Wicked Han on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and yeah, say hi. I would love to get to know everyone.
Great. And if it's too hard to find his the Wicked Hunt, I don't know, it's too long. Just follow our follow our 2G Studio IG, and we are planning to ask Stanley to give a free workshop. Okay, so
free
just
workshop
make
again.
sure- Yeah,
Everyone's doing free workshop.
The thing is, we always need to over deliver. Okay, bring lots of value, give back to community, and we will get more prosperous. Okay,
Respect for that, man. Ronaldo?
yeah, and I believe Hammer have a question where the shot been taken, like where is
Yep.
the mountain? It's actually in Bali. So most of the 90% of the photos from Stanley is actually in Bali.